Hey everybody, Will with Strong Turf here, and today we're working on changing the engine oil on the Scag V-Ride II. This should be a pretty quick and easy video, but I'm going to give you a couple tips and tricks on how to get this done with as little effort as possible. So on my mower, on the underside here, next to the left tire, this here is the oil drain tube. Usually from the factory it comes with a zip tie around it that holds it to the frame. I have removed that zip tie. But if you'll notice, it's lined up just on the left side of this plate that you stand on, and the middle, or about the middle of this tire, is where it's at. So what I usually do is I go on my trailer, and I've got a dovetail, so the back of the trailer has this little sloped portion to it. I will take some of my slats here and kind of slide them over and make a little hole for the oil to drain through. If you have a trailer with a metal floor, you can also do it on the gate. All right, so now we've got the mower up on the trailer, and we've got that drain tube positioned just above this hole here, and we've got our drain pan underneath the trailer. Now it does help to run the mower for 2 or 3 minutes to get that oil warmed up, or else you're going to be sitting here all day waiting on that oil to drain. Now go ahead and come around to the left side of your mower here, and go ahead and take off your oil fill cap. That'll give you some better flow when you drain this thing. And the only thing you'll need is a 10 millimeter. And if you look under here, this thing is absolutely covered in crud. But this is what you will loosen to open up the tube. So you'll need a 10 millimeter with a short extension. We'll go ahead and get some of these cables out of the way. And we'll drop our 10 millimeter down in there. And once you give it a couple turns, you should be able to do it by hand the rest of the way, depending on how dirty it is. And once that's open, you'll see your oil coming out of that tube. So we'll let that drain until it stops dripping, and then we'll work on our filter. Now usually you're going to want to use shop towels that are good at soaking up oil. However, I have run out of those, so we're just going to use some good old-fashioned paper towels. And right above where you opened up the valve is your engine oil filter, and we're going to twist that, loosen it slowly but surely. I got this thing tight as heck the last time I did it. And I like to just open it a little bit and let some of that oil come out. Push my paper towels up in there to catch anything that drips, and kind of work it off. Looks like I drained a good amount of oil out of it. There it is. So you're just gonna try your best not to make a mess. There's nothing under here that really matters if you get oil on it or not, other than the floor of your trailer. But, you know, just try your best not to make a huge mess. So now that we've got our old filter out, take your new filter compare it to the old one. This is the part number for the Kawasaki FX600V. And take some of the old oil and rub it on that O-ring, or new oil, doesn't really matter, as long as you put oil on that O-ring to give it a nice seal. And we're gonna take it over here, give it a few spins. Now take a look in there and make sure that you're tight all the way up against there. I tend to over tighten my oil filters, as you probably saw me trying to get the old one off, but yeah, they really don't need to be that tight. You know, hand tight and 1/4 of a turn. Now, tighten your drain valve. So I've got it to the point where the ratchet stops just freely turning, and I'm going to just kind of crank on it one time. That is really about as tight as you need it. You'll feel when it's tight enough. You do not want to over tighten this and break that valve. It really does not need to be extremely, extremely tight. 2 quarts, 10W40 from Kawasaki. Now this is pretty, what's the word? It's not viscous. Viscous is thick. This is pretty watery stuff. So if you have a big enough funnel, you can just pour it straight in there. I've used smaller funnels and it has overflown. You have to wait for it to drain. So get yourself a nice funnel that allows you to basically pour the whole thing in there in one go. Now double check that you're putting the correct amount in your mower. This is a 36-inch V-Ride II, and I'm sure it has a smaller engine than, say, a 48 or a 52. So it's possible that you might need more oil than what I'm putting in, but this Kawasaki FX600V requires 2 quarts. Now turn on your mower and let that fresh oil circulate. Make sure you don't have any leaks, and you are good to go. Scag recommends you do this after the first 40 hours, I believe, and then every 100 hours after that. I tend to just go ahead and do it every 40 or 50 hours, but Scag recommends you do it every 100. So if this video helped you out, leave me a like. If you have any questions, leave me a comment, and I'll try to answer any that you may have. And have a great day.